The stars shimmered like scattered diamonds across the endless black of space. The human ship Aurora glided silently through the void, its polished hull reflecting the pale glow of distant suns. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the approaching planet. Its surface swirled with green forests, silver rivers, and golden deserts, a jewel among the stars. "This is it," Elena said softly. "First contact with the Xylar homeworld. Keep everyone ready, but calm. We want to show them humans are, well, humans." Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Raj Patel, smiled. "You mean small, fragile humans who are completely out of their league?" Elena laughed. "Exactly. Let's make them underestimate us. Then maybe they'll be surprised." In orbit above the planet, the humans were greeted not with hostility, but with a spectacle. Massive ships, sleek and iridescent, descended from the skies. They moved with precise, fluid motions that seemed almost alive. From the largest vessel, a figure appeared on the observation screens. The Xylar Queen, her form both majestic and terrifying, looked down upon the human ship. She was tall, with a crown-like crest and glowing violet eyes that seemed to pierce through the very hull. "Elena Ward." The Queen's voice resonated through the ship, rich and melodic. "You dare enter my space with such insignificant craft?" Elena straightened, meeting the gaze through the communication interface. "We come in peace, Your Majesty. We wish to explore friendship and exchange knowledge." The Queen's laugh echoed, low and amused. "Friendship? With humans? I have seen hundreds of species bow to me, give tribute, beg for protection. And now, you, tiny, fragile, and smiling. Tell me, do you even know what you face?" The crew shifted nervously. Some had trained for emergencies, but none had faced beings like this. Yet Elena's confidence never wavered. "Perhaps we are small," she said calmly, "but humans have survived worse. We believe in courage, in learning, and in doing what is right. Maybe that counts for something." The Queen's laughter grew. "Something? Humans surviving? Against what, pray tell? Weak beasts? Simple threats? You are amusing, Captain Ward." Despite the mockery, Elena smiled faintly. She had expected this. Humans were never the biggest or strongest, but they had other ways to stand out. She knew that. The Queen gestured, and a bright light formed in space below the Aurora. And within moments, a landing platform appeared above a massive forested clearing. The human shuttle was small against the backdrop of the alien world, yet it glided down gracefully. On the ground, they were met by Xylar attendants. Their tall, sleek bodies shimmered like liquid metal. Each step they took left faint traces of light on the ground. Elena, Raj, and the rest of the team stepped out carefully, eyes wide with wonder. "You may move freely," the Queen's voice echoed through a hovering crystal above them. "But understand, everything here is observed. Every action will be judged." Raj muttered under his breath. "Judged for what?" "Breathing." Elena smiled. "Just go with it. Keep your heads high." As they moved deeper into the ceremonial grounds, the humans noticed vast statues, glowing flora, and rivers that reflected colors no human eye had ever seen. Birds, or creatures like birds, swooped overhead, their wings refracting light like crystals. Everything radiated power and elegance. Then, the Queen appeared before them in full. She did not walk, but hovered slightly above the ground. Her gaze swept over the humans, lingering on their uniforms, their expressions, and their small human forms. "Tell me," she said, voice echoing in a way that made the forest itself seem to vibrate. "Why should I not dismiss you instantly? Why should I even grant you an audience?" Elena stepped forward. "Because humans have something no other species has fully understood. We combine courage, intelligence, and heart. We may be small, but we do not yield easily. And we do not give up on what is right." The Queen tilted her head, intrigued. "Heart? Courage? Words, Captain. Mere words. I see no proof here. Only fragile beings standing where they do not belong." Suddenly, one of the Xylar attendants clapped their hands and the clearing transformed. Panels rose from the ground, forming an obstacle course of shimmering light. Platforms floated in the air. Walls shifted in impossible geometries, and spheres of energy hovered, pulsing with power. "This," the Queen said, "is a test. If you can navigate this course, if you can endure even a fraction of what my people face, perhaps I may consider you capable. Fail, and you are remembered only as amusing curiosities." Raj whispered. "We didn't sign up for an obstacle course." Elena nodded. "We didn't, but we did sign up for first contact. And first contact sometimes means showing we belong." The humans took their positions. Their bodies were smaller, their reflexes slower than the Xylar, but they had something the Queen could not yet measure: creativity. Where the course demanded speed, they used timing. Where it required strength, they leveraged tools and clever positioning. The Queen watched, initially with amusement, as the humans stumbled, adapted, and then advanced with unexpected skill. A human named Marco used vines from nearby plants to swing across a floating gap. Another, Lee, solved a puzzle of rotating energy blocks faster than the hovering Xylar attendants expected. Elena herself approached a wall that shimmered with force fields. Instead of pushing or breaking it, she observed patterns in the energy pulses and timed her jump perfectly, landing on a platform beyond. The Queen's laughter faltered. Her eyes widened slightly. "Interesting," she murmured. "Humans are not simple after all." Even as the course became more complex, the humans continued to adapt. They fell, recovered, helped each other, and improvised with every new challenge. The Xylar attendants began whispering among themselves, astonished. This species they had mocked was cleverer than they had imagined. When the humans reached the final platform, the Queen herself appeared before them. "You have surprised me," she said, her tone no longer mocking but curious. "Few beings in this galaxy combine intellect, intuition, and courage so uniquely. Tell me, Captain Ward, is all of your species like this?" Elena shook her head. "Not all, but many are. We learn, adapt, and work together. That is what makes humans special." The Queen's violet eyes studied them, and for the first time, there was a hint of respect. Perhaps there is more to your species than I thought. I shall watch you closely." As the humans regrouped, Raj whispered, "You think she actually respects us?" Elena smiled. "She doesn't yet. But she's interested. That's the first step. And in this galaxy, interest can turn into something far greater." The forest around them shimmered as night fell, and the alien moon cast silver light over the clearing. The humans had survived the first encounter, not through brute force, but through cleverness, courage, and unity. And somewhere deep within, the Queen began to wonder what else humans might do if given the chance. That night, as the humans set up camp under alien stars, Elena looked up and whispered, "We came as underdogs, but maybe, just maybe, we'll be remembered for something greater." And high above, in her palace of light and crystal, the alien Queen's laughter lingered, softer this time, tinged with curiosity instead of mockery. The sun of the Xylar homeworld rose like liquid gold, spilling light over the ceremonial grounds. Birds, or creatures that resembled birds, sang in shimmering tones, their wings scattering rainbows across the forest. The humans had slept under alien canopies, marveling at plants that glowed faintly in the darkness, and for the first time, a calm determination settled over them. Today was the day of the real test, the challenge the alien Queen had promised. Captain Elena Ward assembled, her team near the landing platform. "Remember," she said quietly, "this isn't about strength, it's about creativity, strategy, and courage. We don't need to be the biggest, just the smartest." Raj Patel rubbed his hands nervously. "Smart, sure. But what if she expects, some super strength or alien power we don't have?" Elena smiled. "Then we'll find a way to use what we do have. Humans have a habit of surprising people." The humans followed the glowing path toward the main arena. It was a vast clearing ringed by towering crystalline trees. At the center, a platform floated, suspended in mid-air by unknown forces. From above, the alien queen descended. Her presence, commanding attention. "You are early," she said, her voice resonant, carrying authority and amusement in equal measure. "Very well, the challenge begins now. This is not a fight. It is a test of skill, wisdom, and collaboration. Fail, and you will be remembered only as entertaining." The humans exchanged glances, adrenaline coursing through their veins. They were not intimidated. They were ready. The queen waved her hand and the arena transformed. Platforms rose, each hovering at different heights. Some rotated slowly. Others were suspended by invisible forces. Lights pulsed across the surfaces, creating patterns that changed constantly. Energy spheres floated in the air, their positions shifting unpredictably. "This," the queen said, "is the arena of insight. Navigate it. Reach the center. Solve the puzzles. Show me your worth." Elena nodded to her team. "All right. Let's do this. Stick together, watch each other's backs, and think before you move." Marco, one of the younger humans, eyed a rotating platform nervously. "That's huge. I've never seen anything like it." Lee, the team's engineer, examined a hovering energy sphere. "It's like a puzzle and an obstacle course at the same time. We need to figure out the patterns." They began. Step by step, they approached the first set of platforms. The Xylar attendants hovered nearby, observing silently. At first, the humans moved cautiously, almost hesitantly, but soon, instinct and observation took over. Elena noticed a pattern in the energy spheres. They pulsed in a repeating rhythm, creating brief openings in the path. Timing their movements carefully, the humans jumped from platform to platform, barely missing the pulses. Marco stumbled once, but Lee grabbed his hand mid-air, swinging him onto the next platform. The queen watched from above, her violet eyes narrowing slightly. This was not what she expected. Humans were supposed to be clumsy, fragile, and predictable. Yet here they were, moving with purpose, adapting to challenges that even her attendants found difficult. "Impressive," she murmured, almost to herself, "but the real test has yet to begin." The next stage of the arena was more complex. Platforms rotated faster, energy spheres moved unpredictably, and gaps appeared and disappeared in the floor beneath them. The humans paused, strategizing. "We need to split up," Elena said. "Some of us can observe patterns while others move forward. Communication is key." They spread out, keeping in constant contact through small communicators. Raj, nimble and fast, tested the rotations and reported back, while Lee calculated the timing needed to jump safely. Marco, hesitant at first, discovered a natural ability to read the sphere patterns instinctively. Slowly they advanced. Step by step, they moved across the floating platforms, helping each other where needed. At one point, Elena noticed a platform wobbling too violently. Instead of trying to force a jump, she grabbed a flexible branch from a nearby glowing tree, used it as a tether, and swung herself to the next platform. The queen tilted her head, intrigued. Humans use ingenuity. They do not rely on brute strength. Fascinating. A larger puzzle appeared near the arena's center, a grid of floating tiles, each glowing faintly. Some tiles were safe, others would disappear if stepped on. A large crystal hovered above, projecting beams of light that moved in complex patterns. The humans studied it carefully. Lee mapped the light patterns on a portable holographic display. Marco tested individual tiles, marking safe paths. Raj suggested, splitting the group, with one human distracting the energy beams while the others moved across. Elena shook her head. "No, we move together. Cooperation is our strength. If one falls, we all adapt." They began crossing the grid in unison, each step carefully timed. The energy beams pulsed dangerously close, but humans were patient, observant, and precise. Slowly, but steadily, they made it across. The queen's lips curved slightly. Persistence, collaboration, and observation. These are traits few species possess in balance. Humans are unusual. Finally, they reached the center of the arena. The last challenge awaited, a puzzle of rotating energy blocks forming a tower. The blocks emitted pulses, and only when aligned perfectly could a pathway appear to the final platform. Elena examined the tower. It's not impossible, it just requires thinking differently. Watch the pulses, predict the rotation, and time our steps. Lee nodded, calculating angles and timing. We can do this together. Everyone stay alert. Step by step, the humans moved. They rotated blocks carefully, predicting the pulses. When one block shifted unexpectedly, Marco quickly jumped, stabilized it, and signaled the others. Raj ran forward, adjusting a misaligned block while Lee coordinated the sequence. Elena led, guiding them through the final steps. When they reached the last platform, a bright light enveloped them. The arena transformed back into the ceremonial clearing. The queen descended, her gaze fixed on the humans. For the first time, there was no amusement in her eyes, only admiration and curiosity. You have surpassed my expectations, she said. Not through power, but through intelligence, cooperation, and courage. Few beings in this galaxy show such traits. Humans, you are remarkable. The humans stood, panting but smiling. They had done it, not by being the strongest, but by being clever, adaptable, and united. Raj whispered to Elena, I can't believe it. She actually looks impressed. Elena smiled. She is. That's the first step. Now she sees what humans can do. The queen studied each human carefully. Tell me, Captain Ward, is all of your species like this? Always clever, always adaptable? Elena shook her head. Not all, but many. We learn, we adapt, and we support each other. That is what makes humans special. We rely on more than strength. We rely on our mind, our courage, and our hearts. Faint smile touched the queen's lips. Perhaps I underestimated you. Perhaps humans have a place in this galaxy after all. As the humans regrouped, the queen stepped back. Rest now. Your actions today will be remembered. We will meet again. I will be watching closely. Elena nodded. We will be ready. Humans always are. That night, the humans sat around their temporary camp on the alien world. They shared stories of past missions, laughed at mistakes, and marveled at the creatures of the forest. Above them, the stars shone brighter than ever, and the alien queen's palace glimmered in the distance, her gaze still lingering on them. Marco whispered, Do you think she really respects us? Elena looked at the glowing trees, at her team, and at the distant palace. She doesn't just respect us. She's starting to understand us, and understanding is the first step toward something much greater. As the humans drifted off to sleep, a sense of pride and anticipation settled over them. They had faced the challenge, survived, and shown the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. High above, in her crystal palace, the alien queen studied the humans with new eyes. She had expected weak, fragile beings, and instead she had witnessed intelligence, creativity, and courage. She laughed softly, but this time it was not mockery. It was curiosity, admiration, and a growing sense of respect. The next morning, the sun rose over the Xylar ceremonial grounds, casting a warm golden light over the humans. The challenge yesterday had tested their skill and teamwork, but today promised something more. The queen had summoned them to the Hall of Echoes, a place where every movement, every thought, and every decision seemed magnified by the strange crystal architecture. Captain Elena Ward led her team across the glowing pathways. Stay alert, she whispered. I have a feeling today will be different. The queen is observing closely, and the challenges will test more than our skill. They will test who we are. Raj Patel rubbed his hands nervously. Great, just when I thought we'd proven ourselves. What more can she throw at us? Elena smiled faintly. Something that can't be solved by skill alone. Something that requires creativity, intuition, and heart. When they arrived, the Hall of Echoes was more magnificent than anything the humans had seen. Crystal walls reflected light in impossible ways, creating illusions of multiple rooms and corridors. Platforms floated mid-air, twisting and shifting constantly. The queen descended from above, her presence dominating the vast space. "You have done well in the arena of insight." The queen's voice resonated through the hall. "Yet now, you will face the trial of adaptation. Here, I will not only test your skill but also your ability to improvise, to lead, and to protect. Fail, and you will be dismissed as curious anomalies. Succeed, and you may prove that your species deserves recognition." The humans exchanged glances. The trial of adaptation sounded serious, but they had faced near impossible challenges before and survived by staying calm, observing, and cooperating. Elena stepped forward. "We're ready. Whatever this trial requires, we'll face it together." The queen's violet eyes studied them. "Very well. Let the trial begin." Immediately the hall shifted. Platforms spun faster, walls slid unpredictably, and glowing energy barriers rose and fell in complicated patterns. Strange devices hovered in the air, emitting pulses that formed moving obstacles. In the center, a tower of light rose, composed of shifting blocks that seemed impossible to climb. "This isn't just a physical challenge," Elena said, assessing the scene. "It's a puzzle too. Watch the patterns, communicate, and stay together." The humans moved cautiously. Raj dashed forward, testing small sections of the hall, while Lee analyzed the pulses, predicting safe zones. Marco, quiet and thoughtful, observed the energy barriers with a natural instinct, noticing rhythms in their motion that others missed. Elena led, guiding each move with calm authority. The first obstacle was a rotating platform that shifted unpredictably. Humans who tried to leap blindly would have fallen, but they used timing, balance, and collaboration. Lee held a floating crystal steady as a handhold for Marco, who crossed confidently. Raj adjusted a misaligned energy beam, allowing Elena to leap safely. The queen watched silently. Her initial amusement had given way to curiosity. Humans were small and fragile, yet they moved with coordination and creativity that she had not anticipated. Next came a complex puzzle, floating blocks that rotated in 3 dimensions, forming and reforming paths. One wrong step could trap them in a loop, forcing them to start over. Many alien species would have panicked, relying on brute strength or predictable logic. Humans, however, adapted quickly. Elena studied the blocks. "We need to think like the blocks move. Watch the timing, predict the sequence, and move as a team." Marco hesitated for a moment, then stepped forward. Using intuition, he jumped and shifted a block just enough to create a temporary pathway. Raj followed, holding another block steady, while Lee recalculated angles for the rest. Elena led the final steps, guiding the team through the moving labyrinth. The queen's eyes widened slightly. Impressive. They do not merely react, they anticipate. But the trial was far from over. At the center of the hall, a new challenge emerged. A large energy dome, pulsating with radiant light. Within it floated a series of obstacles that would test speed, strategy, and leadership. One human would need to act as the lead navigator while others followed, relying entirely on trust and coordination. Elena turned to her team. "This is it. Marco, you have a good instinct for patterns. Lead the way. We'll follow your decisions." Marco's eyes widened. "Me? Are you sure?" Elena smiled. "Trust yourself. We trust you." The queen leaned forward, her voice almost a whisper. "Fascinating. A species that delegates, that trusts intuition over hierarchy. Few are capable of this." Marco nodded and stepped into the dome. Instantly, the environment shifted around him. Platforms rotated, energy pulses moved unpredictably, and walls shifted as if alive. Yet Marco moved with surprising confidence. He observed the patterns, timed his jumps perfectly, and guided his teammates with precise, simple commands. Raj followed closely, adjusting for small changes. Lee modified her path dynamically, supporting others when needed. Elena stayed at the rear, encouraging and monitoring, ready to intervene but confident in Marco's leadership. The Queen watched intently. Marco's calm decision-making and natural anticipation were unlike anything she had seen in a non-Xyler being. He adjusted on the fly, combining strategy with instinct, courage with empathy. Each human moved not as an individual, but as a single coordinated unit. For the first time, the Queen's laughter vanished. She was captivated, unable to look away. Humans, small and fragile, were accomplishing feats that her species had trained for years to achieve. Yet they did it without arrogance, without seeking glory. They acted with purpose, care, and unity. The final section of the dome was a gap over a glowing chasm, with moving blocks as the only bridge. Marco paused, observing the timing of the blocks. He motioned for the others to wait. When the pattern aligned perfectly, he leapt, landing securely. One by one, the team followed, moving flawlessly. Elena was last, but she crossed with a nod of pride at her team. When they reached the center of the dome, a platform of light rose, elevating them for all to see. The Queen descended slowly, her expression unreadable. "You," she began, her voice steady, "are not as I expected. I laughed at your species, dismissed your warriors as weak. Yet here you stand, not by strength alone, but by intelligence, coordination, and courage. Most remarkable is this one." She pointed to Marco. "Your intuition, your leadership, your ability to guide others under pressure, extraordinary." Marco blushed. I just did what felt right." Elena smiled. "Sometimes, the right thing is the hardest to see at first. You trusted yourself and we trusted you. That's how humans succeed." The Queen studied each human. "I see now. Humans possess a balance that few species achieve. Courage, creativity, and empathy combined. You do not seek dominance, yet you rise to challenges beyond expectation. I have laughed at you, but that laughter was premature." A hush fell over the hall. The humans felt the weight of her words. They had survived, adapted, and impressed a being who had ruled countless species. For the first time, they were not just visitors, they were recognized as extraordinary. Elena spoke softly. "We are not perfect. We make mistakes. But we learn, adapt, and support each other. That is what makes us strong." The Queen's violet eyes glowed softly. "Then perhaps your species deserves more than mere survival. Perhaps you deserve a place among the great civilizations of this galaxy." Marco looked at his teammates. Raj grinned. Lee nodded. Elena's chest swelled with pride. They had faced a trial that tested skill, intelligence, and heart, and humans had risen beyond expectations. As they left the Hall of Echoes, the Queen's presence followed them, her gaze thoughtful and measured. For the first time, humans were no longer a joke, a curiosity, or a distraction. They were a species to watch, to respect, perhaps even to admire. That evening, as the humans rested under the alien stars, Marco whispered, "Do you think she'll ever see us as equals?" Elena looked at the distant palace shimmering with light. "She already does in ways she may not admit yet, but respect is earned slowly. Today we earned a lot. And somewhere high above, in her palace of crystal and light, the alien queen pondered humans as she never had any other species. Small, fragile, yet capable of brilliance. She laughed softly, but this time, it was no longer mockery. It was awe. For the first time, the Queen understood that strength was not always measured by size or power, but by courage, intelligence, and heart. And humans had all three in abundance. The Xyler sun had climbed high in the sky, spilling golden light over the ceremonial arena. The humans stood at the edge of the grand platform, gazing at the trial that awaited them. Unlike the previous challenges, this one was not just about skill or strategy. It was a test of decision-making, courage, and leadership under pressure. Captain Elena Ward tightened her gloves and looked at her team. This is it, the final stage. Whatever happens, remember what got us here. Teamwork, observation, and trust in each other. Today we show them who humans truly are. Raj Patel groaned. After yesterday, I thought we were done. And now, what? Some kind of ultimate puzzle? Lee, calm as always, examined the shifting platforms. It's more than a puzzle, it's a combination of everything we've faced. Speed, timing, coordination, and adaptability. But we've done it before. We can do it again. Marco, the young human warrior who had impressed the Queen during the trial of adaptation, stepped forward. We can do this, I'll lead like yesterday. Elena nodded. Good, you've earned it, just remember, we succeed together. The alien queen descended from above, her violet eyes sweeping over the humans. This stage, she said, her voice deep and melodic, is the trial of unity. Here one of you must lead through shifting paths, protect your companions, and make decisions in moments of uncertainty. Observe, adapt, and act. The outcome will determine whether I truly understand your species. The humans stepped onto the floating platforms. Immediately, the environment reacted. Blocks shifted, bridges tilted, energy barriers pulsed unpredictably. The trial was alive, as if sensing hesitation. Marco stepped forward. Follow me closely. Watch the patterns, trust your instincts, and communicate. We move as one. The first obstacle was a rotating platform over a glowing chasm. It wobbled, dangerously, and a misstep could have left them stranded. Marco analyzed the rhythm and timed his leap, landing safely. One by one, the team followed, with Marco giving clear, concise instructions. The Queen watched closely, her usual amusement replaced by intense curiosity. Humans were small, fragile, and yet they moved with purpose, adapting to a dangerous environment, without panic. She had ruled countless species, yet she had rarely seen such composure combined with ingenuity. Next came a sequence of energy barriers that shifted unpredictably. Many aliens would have attempted to force their way through or waited for an opening, wasting precious time. Humans, however, observed carefully. Lee calculated the timing. Raj tested small movements, and Marco coordinated the team to move as one, synchronizing each step with precise timing. When a barrier shifted unexpectedly, Marco reacted instantly, signaling his teammates to pause and adjust. Elena saw the brilliance in his actions. He was not the fastest or the strongest, but he led with calm, intuition, and care for the team. Interesting, the Queen murmured. This one, he combines foresight with empathy. Few species do, so naturally. The humans reached a towering section of floating platforms, each rotating and moving in unpredictable patterns. One miscalculation could have left them separated. Marco's instincts guided them. He leapt, stabilized a shaky block for Raj, and held a moving panel in place for Lee. Elena followed last, ensuring everyone remained safe. The Queen's gaze lingered on Marco. No Xylar has demonstrated such instinctive leadership. He anticipates, protects, and inspires confidence simultaneously. Fascinating. The final part of the trial was a complex puzzle tower. Floating blocks shifted constantly, pulsing with light. Only by coordinating movements, predicting patterns, and trusting one another could the team reach the summit. Marco studied the tower carefully. It's not about rushing, it's about understanding. Watch the blocks. Time your moves, and stick together. Lee adjusted a misaligned block, creating a temporary bridge. Raj stabilized another, allowing Marco and Elena to cross safely. Each human moved as part of a cohesive unit, adjusting in real time to shifting obstacles. The Queen observed silently, unable to hide her astonishment. Humans were not relying on brute force. They were relying on intelligence, intuition, and unity. This was not just survival. This was brilliance in motion. As they approached the final platform, a sudden shift occurred. A large floating block rotated unexpectedly, creating a gap that threatened to separate Marco from his team. Without hesitation, Marco extended his hand, anchoring himself to the platform, and shouted instructions. Raj leapt to his side. Lee adjusted the blocks below, and Elena stabilized the last piece. Together, they bridged the gap flawlessly. The Queen's expression changed. Her laughter, once mocking, was replaced with quiet admiration. Humans, you face uncertainty not with fear, but with observation, courage, and teamwork. Most remarkable is your ability to lead, to protect, and to adapt simultaneously. This one, she gestured to Marco, exemplifies the peak of your species' potential. Marco, breathing heavily but smiling, glanced at his teammates. We did it, together. Elena placed a hand on his shoulder. Yes, together. That's how humans succeed. The final platform rose, elevating the team for all to see. The Queen descended slowly, her eyes glowing softly. I laughed at humans. I called you weak, fragile, and amusing. Today I witnessed courage, intellect, adaptability, and leadership beyond expectation. You are not merely survivors. You are remarkable. The humans stood proudly. They had faced the ultimate challenge not through strength alone, but through intelligence, intuition, and cooperation. Marco had emerged as a symbol of human brilliance, but every member of the team had contributed to their success. The Queen's voice softened, tinged with curiosity. Perhaps I underestimated your species. Perhaps there is more to humans than I ever imagined. You combine courage with intelligence, creativity with empathy. Few in this galaxy possess such a balance. Raj whispered. She's impressed, isn't she? Elena smiled. More than impressed. She's realizing that humans are capable of things no one expected, and that realization changes everything. The humans stepped down from the platform, exhausted but triumphant. Around them, the ceremonial grounds shimmered with a strange energy, as if acknowledging their achievement. For the first time, they felt fully seen, not as small, fragile visitors, but as a species worthy of respect and attention. The Queen observed them, silent for a moment. Then she spoke, her voice echoing with authority. Humans, you have shown me qualities few species possess: courage, adaptability, and unity. Most extraordinary is your ability to combine all three in moments of challenge. I have laughed at you, but that laughter was premature. Elena bowed slightly. We are grateful for the opportunity, Your Majesty. Humans are not perfect, but we strive to learn, to adapt, and to support each other. That is what makes us strong. The Queen's eyes softened. Then perhaps your species deserves more than mere observation. Perhaps you deserve partnership, recognition, and a place in the galaxy's future. I will watch your progress closely. Humans, you have earned my attention, and that is no small matter. As the humans left the ceremonial arena, the Queen lingered above, her gaze thoughtful. For the first time, humans were not just a curiosity. They were a species to respect, to observe carefully, and perhaps to admire. That evening, the humans rested under the alien stars, reflecting on the trials they had faced. Marco, once uncertain and hesitant, now stood with quiet confidence, aware of what he and his team had accomplished. Do you think she truly respects us? Marco asked quietly. Elena looked toward the distant crystal palace, shimmering in the fading light. She already does. Respect is earned slowly, and today we've earned a lot. But more importantly, she's beginning to understand what humans are capable of. The team sat together, sharing quiet laughter and stories from their journey. They had faced trials that tested every skill and quality they possessed, and yet they had risen together, proving not only their capability, but their humanity. Above them, the alien Queen's palace gleamed, her eyes fixed on the humans. She had expected fragile, amusing beings, but instead she had witnessed courage, creativity, and brilliance. For the first time, she considered that humans were not just small or weak. They were capable of feats that even her most disciplined species could not match, not by strength, but by intelligence, intuition, and heart. The sky above the Xylar Palace shimmered with hues of violet and gold. From her high crystal balcony, the alien Queen observed the humans below. They were small in stature, compared to the towering Xylar attendants, yet they moved with confidence, intelligence, and unity. Captain Elena Ward led her team across the ceremonial grounds toward the palace. Every step was deliberate, every movement careful, yet there was a sense of pride in their stride. They had faced the arena of insight, the hall of echoes, and the trial of unity. They had survived challenges designed to test strength, intellect, adaptability, and courage, and had emerged not just unscathed but triumphant. The Queen descended to meet them. Her eyes, violet and glowing softly, studied each human carefully. "Humans," she began, her voice calm yet commanding, "you have surpassed all expectations. You have faced every trial with intelligence, courage, and unity. You have not relied on brute force, yet you have accomplished feats no other species could achieve without power. I have laughed at your warriors, dismissed them as fragile, and I was wrong." Elena bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Your Majesty. We are honored to have the opportunity to demonstrate what humans can do. We do not seek glory, only understanding and friendship." The Queen's lips curved slightly, the first genuine smile the humans had seen from her. Friendship? Yes, that is something few species understand. Humans, you do not merely survive. You observe, adapt, and support each other. You combine courage with intelligence, leadership with empathy, and individual brilliance with teamwork. This is rare, even among the great civilizations of this galaxy. Marco, standing at the center of the group, looked at the Queen in awe. "Your Majesty, we only did what felt right. We acted together, trusted each other, and solved problems as they came. That is how humans work." The Queen's gaze lingered on him. "You are correct. This one, in particular, exemplifies the qualities I have rarely seen. Leadership, intuition, courage, and compassion, all combined in one individual. You are remarkable, Marco." Marco felt a blush rise to his cheeks. He looked at his teammates, who smiled proudly. "I did not do this alone. We all worked together." The Queen's eyes softened further. "And that, perhaps, is the most remarkable part. Humans understand the strength of unity without diminishing individuality. Few species achieve such balance. You do not dominate, you cooperate. You do not fear the unknown, you explore it. You do not seek to conquer, you seek to understand." Elena stepped forward. "We believe that is the way forward. Every species has its strengths. By working together, we can achieve far more than any one species alone. That is the future humans hope to build." The Queen studied them, then gestured to the glowing platform below. "Then let it be known, humans have earned not just my respect, but a place among the recognized civilizations of this galaxy. You will not be dismissed as fragile or weak. Instead, you will be observed, studied, and respected. Your actions here will be remembered for generations." Raj, who had been quietly observing, grinned. "Respect. I'll take it." Lee nodded, and recognition too. The Queen's smile widened. "More than that. Humans, you are now invited to join a galactic alliance of species dedicated to exploration, knowledge, and cooperation. You have proven that you are capable of extraordinary feats without seeking dominance. Your intelligence, courage, and unity make you valuable allies." Elena's heart swelled. "We accept, Your Majesty. Humans are ready to learn, to share, and to contribute. We believe the galaxy is stronger when we work together." The Queen nodded. "Then it is settled. You have demonstrated qualities that no training or technology can instill alone. These are qualities of the heart, mind, and spirit. You are truly exceptional." As the humans walked through the palace, marveling at the crystal halls and floating staircases, they felt a profound sense of achievement. They had entered as small, underestimated beings, and now they were leaving as respected members of a larger galactic community. The Queen led them to a balcony overlooking the entire world. Forests, rivers, mountains, and floating cities stretched across the horizon. "Look upon your new world," she said, "and know that this is only the beginning. Humans, your presence will be remembered. Your actions have shown me that size and strength are not the measures of greatness. Courage, intelligence, empathy, and unity are, and you have all four in abundance. Marco gazed out at the horizon. We only wanted to explore, to understand. I never imagined we could make this kind of impact. Elena smiled. Humans are capable of more than they realize. We act with courage and heart, and the universe notices. The Queen's attendants moved around, recording the humans' movements and reactions. For the first time, the Xylar people treated humans not as novelties, but as equals. The humans' ingenuity, leadership, and courage had proven them worthy of attention, respect, and collaboration. Your next mission, the Queen said, will not be a test but a partnership. You will travel with representatives of other species, sharing knowledge, solving problems, and exploring the unknown. You have earned this opportunity because you act not only for yourselves, but for the greater good. Raj's eyes widened. So, no more trials, just adventure? Elena laughed. Adventure, yes, but also responsibility. We've proven ourselves. Now we can truly make a difference. The Queen turned her gaze back to Marco. And you, warrior, have shown me that even the smallest among you can inspire greatness. Your intuition, courage, and leadership are extraordinary. I have underestimated humans for too long. No more. Marco nodded, humbled. Thank you, Your Majesty. I only acted as my instincts guided me, and I trusted my team. Elena placed a hand on his shoulder. That's what humans do. We trust, we learn, and we act together. That is how we succeed. The Queen's expression softened, almost imperceptibly. Then may your species continue to act as it has here, with courage, intelligence, and unity. Let this day mark the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history. The humans looked at each other, pride and joy shining in their eyes. They had started as small, underestimated visitors and had become recognized members of a galactic alliance. Their actions had demonstrated the very essence of what made humans exceptional: courage, intelligence, teamwork, and heart. As they prepared to depart, the Queen addressed them one final time. Humans, go forth with my respect. Share your knowledge, your courage, and your creativity. The galaxy will remember you, and I will watch with great interest. Perhaps one day you will show me even more of what your kind is capable of. Elena nodded. We will, Your Majesty, and we will continue to act with the qualities that brought us here: courage, intelligence, and unity. Humans never give up, and we never stop learning. The humans returned to their ship, the Aurora, ready to embark on a new journey. Above them, the alien Queen's palace shimmered in the alien sunlight, her violet eyes watching with curiosity, respect, and a hint of wonder. Marco glanced back one last time. Do you think she'll ever truly understand us? Elena smiled. Perhaps not fully, but she understands enough to respect us, and respect is the first step to understanding. And in the galaxy, that is worth more than anything. As the Aurora lifted into space, leaving the Xylar homeworld behind, the humans felt a sense of accomplishment unlike anything they had experienced. They had faced trials that tested every skill, every instinct, every aspect of who they were, and they had proven themselves. Above them, the stars stretched endlessly. A galaxy full of possibilities awaited, and the humans were no longer just travelers. They were recognized, respected, and ready to make their mark. Somewhere in her crystal palace, the alien Queen laughed softly, no longer in mockery, but in genuine admiration. Humans, she realized, were extraordinary. They were unpredictable, courageous, clever, and compassionate. They were small in stature, but immense in potential. And the galaxy, she thought, had never seen anything like them before. For humans, it was just the beginning. Their journey into the stars had started as explorers, but now they were ambassadors, allies, and examples of what a species could achieve through courage, intelligence, and unity. The universe had taken notice, and it would never forget.